This is my new Scag Turf Tiger 2. It's got the 61-inch deck, 35 horse, Vanguard. I was trying to decide between this and the Scag Qwikchute 61 with the 37 Vanguard fuel injected. And so I went down there and I drove the Qwikchute and I drove this. The Qwikchute, it wasn't the actual one that he had. I mean, he had one with the 29 horse Kohler fuel injected, but I could still get a feel for the suspension platform and the hydros and the seat and just how it handled all together and how it felt in person to run. Now all I did was run it in the parking lot. I didn't demo it or anything like that, but to be honest with you, this was a lot more comfortable for me. That suspension platform seemed a little bit too good to be true. I think, it was nice. I could see it moving, but I don't think that the shocks were broken in. So maybe once they were broken in, they softened up a lot more. But this suspension seat is way better for me. The cushion on the actual seat itself is softer than the Qwikchute. It doesn't have a high back like the Qwikchute. I mean, to me, you would think it would, but maybe that's something Scag could think about. But as far, I've rode on, I think 3 or 4 different air suspension seats, whatever you want to call them, like this, and this is by far the most comfortable one that I've ever been on. It also has the armrests that are adjustable up underneath here. You just turn that one way or the other and it adjusts the angle of how they go down. I really like that because I always find myself leaning forward when I'm mowing. I don't even use the backrest. So this seat also, you turn this big knob here and it adjusts the recline or whatever you want to call it for the seat back. And again, like I said, I lean forward, so I think that I'll be able to, I've got it leaned and tilted all the way forward, so I should be able to actually relax and hit the back while I'm leaning forward. I did have him put on the grass flap before I picked it up. When I got down there, he was kind of pretty much almost had it done, but we kind of worked together and got it finished up. I really like this. I think it's going to work pretty good. He ran the wire up through here, and then came up through this hole here. He did have it over here, and it was going to hit this deck here. And if you see that, when I lower it and stuff, it still hits it. So we had to grind off a little bit. But all you got to do is just pull it back, and it'll drop down. I don't know if that's the pedal's fault, if that's grass flap's fault. I don't know if there's any fault. You know what I mean? We didn't drill any holes at all. These nuts here, they will fit through these factory holes. You just got to put one in at a time and turn them sideways. It's kind of a pain, but it works. And then these two, you can see in there, are bolted to hold it on. Like my dealer was saying, that this front piece here where it's mounted to seems a little bit more angled, like not straight up and down here. So I'm thinking about just bending this like backwards, and that would bring this forward a little bit more, and then it should clear it just fine. It doesn't like probably 1/8 of an inch or less, so I mean, it doesn't like much. But overall, I like the grass flap. As far as bending the plastic, it got pretty close. I mean, I'm no expert, but by any means, but this looks pretty good. You can kind of see the daylight right there. Well, not daylight, but the other side. I may try to bend it a little bit more to close it in like that, but it's not that really, it's not gotta be perfect, just gotta kind of block it for the most part, and I think it does. I think I will have to raise these handles up one, like as far as these 3 holes. I'm gonna have to go up one, because whenever I sit down, and I'll show you, I'll go ahead and climb up here. Whenever I sit down and I bring them in, and they're right here, I'm sitting down with my feet right here. The seat is not all the way back, it's probably about halfway, but you can see that it hits my knees, so I'll raise that up. But that's a good thing about this thing being super adjustable. I could even turn this back and do it like this, you know. It's kind of hard to do holding the camera, but I could do it like that, and that would actually might be better. I don't know, I want to play with it, see. That's the good thing about this adjustability down here, is you can kind of play with it and get it exactly where you want it. I've never had that before, and there's not a lot of brands out there that offer this much adjustability. So from the platform to the left, you got your gas gauge. They say that you can adjust the stiffness or the whatever of the hydros to make it tighter or looser. I don't know how to do that. There's a little shock dampener right here. I don't know, I think that's a dampener. I don't know if that has something to do with it or what, but somebody can leave a comment and let me know if they know how to do that, or if that's, maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know. But I don't even know that I'll have to mess with that. This thing runs smooth. That cheetah that I ran was super touchy. It was kind of, it reminded me a lot of an older bobcat or a skid steer, that was arm controlled instead of, you know, joystick, and they're kind of jumpy if you don't really know what you're doing. Once you get used to it, it's really not that bad, but at first it's very jumpy, and if you're trying to be kind of gentle, it can be tearing up grass, stuff like that. So I was like, it seems like, you know, I don't really like that, you know. This side, it's got the tiger eye and all that. Most people know all about it. You know, if you turn the key on, 0.6 hours, so it is brand new. All 4 lights will light up whenever it's ready to be started. Pretty cool. They say it's kind of fault proof, so that it's not like an actual computer system or whatever, so that's pretty reassuring, but we'll see how that works out. I'm kind of used to plain Jane, nothing fancy, you know, so I didn't have to have it, so I don't, you know, cool that it's got it, but whatever. One thing I would like to know is, as far as the deck chains, obviously that's tried and true and all, but on the new Hustler Super Z's, and other brands may have it too, they've got like a linkage, and I'll take a video. My father-in-law has a 72 Super Z with the Kawasaki 1000 on it, and I'm gonna make a video of that compared to this, and even that compared to my Fastrak over here, and just kind of put it out there, because there's not a lot of videos on Scag versus stuff, you know what I mean? Like there's Scag versus X-Mark I've seen, but Scag versus Hustler is a big one down in the south where we're at. Hustler's a pretty big brand, and the only reason I'm going away from Hustler is, number one, dealer support. It's terrible. It is awful around here. So that mower right there, I've got 388 hours on it. It's been great. It's just not full-on commercial, so it was just time for me to step up. And if I was going to have to drive, I guess 20 minutes, 30 minutes down the road to my dealer for any other brand, and I figured if I was going to have to drive that far for any other brand, I might as well shop around. So Scag. I looked into everything. I looked into Ferris, I looked into Toro, I looked into Bobcat, I looked into Hustler again, I looked into Exmark. I looked into them all. I mean, not all of them, but you know, the majority of them. And I might get a right stander or a Scag V-Ride 2 the end of this year or beginning of next. But I just didn't want a stander for right now. I need an actual sit down mower for what I like to do, you know. And then we'll go from there. But I've shopped around and I really like this dealer. His name's Rob. It's a kind of one-man, two-man operation down in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Great guy. I mean, I've never ever had a dealer treat me so good. Obviously, I've not had any issues yet, but I mean, I can tell he's a straight shooter. You know, it's just like if I were to go talk to one of my buddies, you know. He has a small little place, but like I said, he was working on the grass flap when I got there, and I offered to go help, and he's like, sure, of course. So I went back there and helped him, and whatever, we talked for a good long while, and just a super straight shooter, you know. And in today's world, you don't see that a lot, and that's pretty reassuring. So anyways, back to the mower. The charcoal canister right there, I have seen where some people have had issues with that. If I do, I'm just going to take it off, throw it away. I don't care. From what I've been told, they're not even required. But Scag is trying to be proactive and putting them on. They don't really do much. So again, it is the 35 Vanguard carbureted. My dealer said that the carbureted versus EFI and Vanguard, he said he's not seen a big difference in fuel gains or fuel efficiency versus, you know, each other. He said the Kohlers he sees a lot, but the issue with that, he said that the Kohlers, they are detuning them. Like, he told me that from what he's seen, and not just on Scag, but on any other on other brands he was dealing, or any other brands that he's ran or whatever, he told me that like a 29 horse Kohler EFI would, you know, it'd get way better, you know, miles per gallon or hours per gallon, however you want to figure it, than a carbureted 29. But the 29 EFI would be more like a 26 or something. So the power, he said the power was, you know, the biggest problem with that. And I've had a lot of friends that had issues with Kohler. I've heard a lot of people have issues with the new Kohlers. The old Kohlers, from what I understand, are way better. And I think everybody's kind of got their own opinion on motors. That's, you know, whatever. I like Kawasaki. I had that Kawasaki on that Hustler over there. It's been great. It burned a little bit of oil. They recommended using a different oil. I can't remember if it was 1030, 1040, whatever. But I did that, and it kind of solved that issue during the summer months when it was real hot. But anyways, on this thing, just right off the bat, the oil filters seems to be fairly easy to get to. I've seen worse. I've got some other things that are way harder than that. The drain plug, though, that looks like I'm going to have, I don't know if you can see my fingers, but I'm going from under the bottom. I'm going to have to kind of go from underneath to loosen that up, because it's kind of right in behind this hydro here. So it's not that big a deal, because the serviceability on this thing everywhere else is just great. So if you, and I'm sure everybody's already seen this, but it never hurts to get another perspective. You open the back hatch, whatever you want to call it. You got your clutch here, and he said as long as I keep that thing adjusted the right way, he said that it'll double and triple the life of it. And you know, I know a lot of stuff about some stuff, but I don't know everything. So I just like to know those types of things. Any type of information is good information. All these belts are super easy to get to. This thing, I mean, everybody knows they're supposed to be the easiest to work on. That was another reason why I went with it over the Cheetah. If you raise this back up, you got your air filter here. Super easy to get to. I like that it's up high versus mine on this one where it's right here on the back. It's kind of personal preference, I guess, but dipstick, oil reservoir. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it seems like a great mower. I've heard nothing but good things. I've not heard very many bad things at all. I like the 1 gallon tank that's big versus 2 tanks, so I don't have to worry about switching. I don't have to worry about a tank going out or whatever. One less thing that can tear up, one less thing I got to worry about. And with this one, it's under the seat, so super low center of gravity, and it leaves the metal fenders, which look awesome. You lift the seat up, you know, super easy to clean. There's not very many ledges like when you see these ledges, but overall it's pretty easy to clean, keep clean. The adjustments on the deck here, and like I was saying earlier, I'd be curious to see if, you know, because if you're going full speed through a field or something, the deck will jump up and down. I'm wondering, and I haven't actually like tested it, but I'm wondering if those links on a Hustler Super Z work better than these chains. I'm gonna kind of test that out and see, but can't hurt to check it out, you know. But there's a reason why everybody goes with chains. I kind of really like the brake on this thing, and the lever. It seemed like on the Cheetah it was like down here or something, and it's kind of awkward. I've heard people say that this was awkward. I don't really think that's awkward. I think if you hit this brake, pull that up, it's pretty simple. And to be honest with you, unless it's on the trailer, I probably won't even use it. I'll just probably hit the button with my finger. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing I'm not used to though is taking the blades off from the top. There's not a lot of people that kind of talk about stuff like that. I mean, it's something that's simple, but on this mower, I've been used to just having the little, I don't know, 2.5 inch bolt, 3 inch bolt that goes on the bottom, and all I do is I pick it up with the forks of the tractor, because I got forks and tractor, and I just pick it up and get it right there with the impact and zip them off, and done. This one I had to get used to it. There's about I don't know, an 8 to 10 inch bolt that goes through the spindle and everything. You take this nut off, the bolt comes through, blades with it. There's a spacer on the bottom. You can adjust the height of where the blade is and all that. And he was telling me all about the baffles in this deck and stuff like that, how, you know, how it worked, and you can adjust it and all that. That's a little bit over my pay grade, over my head, but maybe one day I'll figure it all out. I'll climb back up here and give you a preview of this grass flap. I did tighten this spring up a little bit because as I would hit it, it didn't seem to, you know, obviously you can't just hit it like that and it open, but you gotta, you know, hit it and let it up. Hit it and let it up. So I may adjust a little more, I don't know. We'll see how it goes throughout the season. But yeah, this is it. I know this thing's going to use a lot more fuel than my 24 horse Kawasaki on that Hustler, but it runs twice as fast. It's at least twice the mower. Another big, massive reason why I went with this mower over the Cheetah is this was the last one that he had from last year. And that being said, I think he said the normal price on it was around 13,000, whatever, 13.4, 13,000 flat, I don't know. But he had this listed for $10,800, and I thought, you can't beat that for a Turf Tiger too. The cheetah was, I think the cheetah was listed, the one that I was waiting on for this year. He was getting it in February, but the one with the 37 Vanguard fuel injected, he said that it was on promo I don't know if it's all year in 2019, but it's on promo this year for $11,299, and so it was going to be $500 more than this Turf Tiger, which, that if I didn't like that one more or better, I'm not going to pay $500 more for something I didn't even like better, obviously. But they're both great mowers from what I've seen. I am 6'2", so it seemed like where on the cheetah the platform's all different, where this foot, I don't ever put my feet on it, hardly ever, but where this foot rest was like so close to the peg, and given I could probably have moved it back, but where this was compared to that, it was kind of awkward for me. I wear a size 13 boot, so wide, so like it's just kind of awkward. This thing seems to be fitted for a taller person, and not really. I mean, I think it's just personal preference, honestly, but for me, that's just how it felt. What else? Oh, another thing that I really, really, really liked about this thing was how clear the deck was. I'm talking about no nothing. Like, I mean, obviously where you got your deck adjustments, you got a piece of angle or whatever, but as far as blowing it off, cleaning it, all that crap, nothing. Super easy. Just a quick glance at this one. It's crap everywhere. It holds stuff so bad. I mean, and I get it, they're trying to protect the belt and all that BS, but I mean, this is about 4 years old, and paint chips off, stuff like that's normal, I guess. But I mean, if I could have just blown it off a lot easier, then it would have been 10 times easier. But I am going to do a review on the grass, or a comparison on the grass flap versus the Qwikchute. On that Super Z, we have a Qwikchute on it, and it has the handle that's right here. So I've not seen any comparisons like that, so I figured I'd do that. I'll do that. I'll compare the Super Z with this one, compare this one with this one. I think I gave like $6,700 for this one out the door. I gave $12 for this out the door, so the difference in a lower grade entry level commercial versus a full blown commercial, weight differences, all that crap. I'll go into all that. If y'all have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment, email me, whatever, and I'll try to answer them if I can. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I figured if I could help some people by what I've got, that I'd try to help. So, y'all have a good one.